Hello, hello, Sandra. Students are late. Count is late. What
Yes,
is the
sir.
issue?
I don't know, sir. From even
Still enjoying
yesterday,
Diwali or what?
yesterday also it was very less.
Okay, no problem. So I think we should start now, huh?
Yes, sir. You can start.
Okay, thank you. So we'll start with powder metallurgy. That this is what I am taking is your model number, that is 4 and 5. Okay, examination point of view only I am going to cover. And CNC is vast. CNC, that is what I'm taking is model number 5 and 6, not 4 and 5, 5 and 6. That is 6 is model number 6 is polymer processing, powder metallurgy, and intelligent manufacturing. And model number 5 is non-traditional machining. So once I complete with model number 6, I will go to model number 5, and then model number 4 we will take, comparatively, depending upon how many lectures we get, because that is interesting also, right? So yesterday we discussed about powder metallurgy, and polymer processing is nothing but, polymer is nothing but plastic. So how to process the plastic? So those are nothing but injection molding, blow molding, transfer molding. These are the various techniques for polymer processing. Okay, let me share the screen. And you remind me to upload the notes. So this presentation is useful for your examination point of view. That is how you will write. So here definition etc. has been properly given. Like PM is the process of blending fine powder materials. Then we have to compact it into the desired shape, and then it is followed by heating. That is also called as the sintering, and that is done at a controlled pressure and temperature, and we get a final part. So basically it has four steps. That is, one is powder manufacturing, then blending of the powders. Blending means mixing. That is, you have to mix other powders, and this is the biggest advantage of powder metallurgy. That is, you can have monel, you can have stainless steel, you can have, brass, you can mix. That is what is called the blending of the powders. And then it has to be compacted in a mold or a die. So die is a must in powder metallurgy. And then followed by sintering, that is heating. Now, as I told yesterday, that heating can be cold and hot. Cold doesn't mean that it is not heated, but the temperature is less in cold compaction. Then metal powders should conform to some characteristics like purity, that is, it should be 100% or 95% pure. Particle size. So particle size will finally decide the density, and it will also decide the porosity. Then how the particles are distributed. That is, what is the gap between two particles. So that decides your porosity, and finally that decides your strength also. If the gap between two particles is more, then the strength will be less. Uh, the material will, or the product will fail. So that's why it should be compacted properly. That is, the gap between two particles should be as small as possible. These are some photographs which are taken by electron microscope,
Excuse me, sir.
because the, yeah.
Sir, screen is not visible right now.
Oh, yes. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Huh? You have to tell me. Huh? Okay. I'll quickly go through that slides which I presented. That is, this is the definition part. It's visible, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll quickly go through these slides, and this. Please remind me to upload this. So this is the definition of the powder metallurgy. These are the steps. And I told you that cold compaction and hot compaction. These are the characteristics of the metal powders, that is purity, particle size, and particle size distribution. And this is done, these photographs are taken by electron microscope. Electron microscope has magnification of 10 to the power 5, 10 is to 5. Then how the metal powders are produced. Okay, so yesterday I told you how the powders are produced. That is, one way is atomization, that is the metal is melted and then through siphon tube it is sucked, and under the pressure of gas it is atomized. You have water atomization, that also yesterday we have seen. Then centrifugal atomization, that also we saw yesterday. Then this is something different, that is, the biggest problem is that metal should be available in the form of powder, so you can crush it. Okay, so that earlier was first technique, this is the second technique. Second technique is crushing of the metal powder. So like it is like a flour mill, मतलब आटे का चक्की, लेकिन वहां पे हम लोग रीजनेबली सॉफ्ट पीस को क्रश करते हैं, लाइक गेहूं का दाना. ओके, व्हीट, गेहूं का दाना. So there in the flour mill that wheat is crushed, whereas here the crushing should be for the metals. Then this is again a third process or third technique for manufacturing the metal powder. So milling, this is called the milling, and the machine or the equipment is called as the ball mill. Equipment is called as the ball mill. So in this, the metal is again converted into powder with the help of abrasion, impact, and compaction by balls. So there are steel balls or hard. These balls are very hard, and these balls are impacted, on the metal, so that that metal is broken down into small pieces, small particles. This is the principle of the milling. Then blending means mixing, that is, you can mix three or four different metals, three or like doctor, how does it, uh, gives the medicine. He gives the medicine by, crushing the different tablets into powder, and then he mixes. So same thing here also, you can mix up different metals, and this is what the advantage of powder metallurgy is. Biggest advantage is that you can blend and mix the powders. So here you can add the lubricants, you can mix the powder of different material, you can get uniform distribution of the particle size, then you can add other agents, you can add binders. So like that you can prepare your own recipe depending upon the product what you need, depending upon the characteristics of the product. Depending upon the application, you can prepare the recipe, prepare the chemical compositions. Then compacting is used to reduce the voids मतलब gap, मतलब हम लोग दबाते हैं उसको, पाउडर को दबाते हैं, so that there is no gap between the two particles. Then there is compacting is also used for adhesion and for bonding, right? And it facilitates the plastic deformation. So this is what the compacting procedure is. Compacting, so this is what the final product is. You can see a small amount of flash means a small amount of particle which will come out across the parting line. So this flash is to be trimmed off later on, it has to be trimmed off later on. and obviously this is metal, so you need a huge press like 1000 ton 2000 ton, whereas the presses which are used for chocolate industries, for biscuit industries, for pharma industries, for medicines, those tonnage is very small. It can be 30 tons 50 tons, because the these are not metal powders. Here in powder metallurgy we are dealing with the metals, we are dealing with the metals, right? This is what is your typical compacting principle of compacting is, and this is called as the cold isostatic pressing. So the powder is pressed in such a way that you get a uniform distribution and you get uniform and same properties across every cross section. Then hot isostatic pressing, that is HIP. So this the compact is in done by heating. So here you have heating coils provided for compacting. Then compacting can also be done by powder rolling. So you have your metal powder which is fed across the row hopper, and the purpose of this is to get a sheet. So this is what is your final product. Here you will not get any complex shape. Remember, here you will not get any complex shape. Like suppose if you want to make a hard shade component, okay, or a round component or a prismatic component, that is not possible in powder rolling. Here you will get a sheet. You will get a sheet, fine. And many times we need, MS sheet, SS sheet, brush sheets, fine. So that can be produced by this process. This is called as the rolling process. This is called as the rolling process, fine. Then another procedure is powder extrusion, that is powder can be extruded. So this is the die and this is a plunger. This is the barrel in which your powder binder mixture is put, and then it is pressed with the help of this plunger, and then whatever shape you have in the die, that is what you will get. So if you want round, or if you want hexagon, or if you want pentagon, so your die has to be cut accordingly. So whatever shape is cut in the die, that is what you are going to get. Now sintering is nothing but you have to heat it so that you get a proper bonding. So it is heating of the compacted powder uh, to a specific temperature, and of course that has to be below the melting point. That has to be below the melting point. So this sintering is done in a controlled temperature and controlled atmosphere at under controlled pressure. And see how centering helps to reduce the gap or to reduce the void. Like here earlier it was so big, it has reduced, and finally it has reduced. Our ideally there should not be any gap, because the gap is always dangerous whenever the product is in use. Because of this gap, because of this small gap, uh, in service or in use, this gap will become more and more bigger and bigger, and it will lead to the crack and finally to the failure of the component. So this is driving force for the centering. You don't have to study so detail. That is what happens to the surface energy, etc. Then after centering you have to do some finishing operation, because the surface may be slightly rough or there may be flashes. So finishing operations mainly is nothing but you can do finishing by machining, that is by grinding. Then you can do plating, like gold plating, nickel plating, silver plating. So these are the various finishing operation, fine. These are the advantages of powder metallurgy which we have discussed, but it has been put in the notes form. These are the limitations. That is, the biggest limitation is high cost of the tooling dies. Then high cost for producing the metal powders. Then what are the different parts which are made by the powder metallurgy? So these are the different parts which are made by the powder metallurgy, like you have spur gears, you have crown wheel, you have hypoid gears, uh, then you have this covers, or the half. These are called the bearing half, for the for accommodating the bearings. See, for bearing, powder metallurgy is the best technique, because those are self lubricating because of the porosity. And that's why it is called the self lubricating bearing or oil impregnated bearing. So these are lifelong, maintenance free. These bearings are lifelong and it is maintenance free. So bearings is the most popular application of powder metallurgy. Bearing housing thing. So this is made up of bronze. This is made up of bearing housing. So this is what is your bearing housing is, and in which the shaft is rotating. Okay, shaft is rotating. So you don't have to put additional lubricating oil between shaft and this bearing, because this bearing itself, you can see in this picture that this bearing itself is porous. So it has a self lubricating properties. So your shaft is not, neither shaft nor the bearing housing gets damaged. Then another popular application of powder metallurgy is toolings, that is small inserts which are used on the CNC lathe machine. Inserts which are made of cemented carbide. Remember, there is no other procedure to manufacture these inserts except powder metallurgy. Only the procedure is powder metallurgy. These inserts can be manufactured. Inserts which are used on CNC are produced by powder metallurgy only. Cemented carbide, cemented carbide bolo, titanium carbide bolo, tungsten carbide. So these are produced by powder metallurgy. There is no other procedure. So these are the insert which I was talking about. Okay, these are the insert. This is the insert which is done only by powder metallurgy, and these inserts can be clamped with the help of the screw, and these are the brace tip. So these tips these tips are done by powder metallurgy process. Remember these tips, and then these tips are braced on a ms shank. ms shank. So here you have to do grinding. If the insert tip is blunt, then you have to do the grinding, whereas here you have to just index the tip. That is, if you can see now here, you have three cutting edges, 1 2 and 3. Okay, so once this cutting edge is blunt, then you have to loosen it and index it. Okay, then again loosen it. So that means three times this can be indexed. If you have, square insert, then you can use it four times. You can index it four times. Hence, some of the or many of the inserts, there are cutting edges at the top surface as well as at the bottom surface. So in that case, it can be used eight times. Eight times. Okay. And if we have a round insert, so can anybody tell me, if it is a round insert, how many times it can be indexed? If it is round insert, it can be indexed infinite number of times for the round insert. So that is the advantage of round insert. So this was the summary. So we'll go for the next one. Somebody has joined now. So this is in Word format. This presentation is Word format. This again I will upload it. Okay, so this is the same. This one is the same one. Let me show you the powder metallurgy notes. What is there? This is the introduction. This is powder metallurgy process. How to produce This is the one of the process yesterday I talked that it can be produced by chemical reduction process. So this is that, chemical equations in chemical, that is reduction means what, we are removing the oxygen. Okay, so right now this is say iron oxide. So you get carbon monoxide and you get carbon dioxide. CO2 is carbon dioxide, CO is carbon monoxide, and here this is iron. So this is what is your iron powder is. So this iron powder is reduced from iron oxide by adding carbon. huh? by adding carbon. So this is Fe3O4 is nothing but iron oxide in which you are adding carbon. Okay, and you are getting pure iron powder, metal powder. Similarly here, so that was your reduction process. Reduction process means what? Removing the oxygen. And oxidation process is what? Adding the oxygen. Like in Fe, you are adding oxygen, so you get some Fe3O4. I'm not good in chemistry, but this is what is your difference, the basic difference between reduction and oxidation. That is removing the oxygen and adding the oxygen. These are the different processes. This is useful for what to write, examination may. So crushing process, milling process. So I know it is difficult to understand each and everything. So some has to be learned, isn't it? So some you cannot, avoid that ratto. Hmm. Then condensation of the metal powders. This is another process. Hybrid and carbonyl process. So these are, for two marks you can, write this. Then what is the characteristics of the metal powder? Like we discussed particle size distribution, particle shape, chemical composition, microstructure, density, flow characteristics. Because your powder, metal powder, when it is being compacted between the in the dies, then it should flow also properly. It should flow. So it should be flowable, So that is what is called as the flowability. Then mixing or blending. This is the biggest advantage, that mixing and blending of the metal powders. Then these are the secondary operations or finishing operations which can be performed, after doing the powder metallurgy. And advantages, disadvantages, then limitations. So this will be very useful instead of going through the PPT. So what I will do, I'll only upload this only, so that you don't have to, so that you will not confuse. So this is the same thing. Oxide reduction, electrolysis, pulverization. Pulverization again, it is nothing but, fine, making into fine grains. Fine grains. So now let's go about, polymer composites. That is again in module number 6. And then you have intelligent manufacturing, that is industry 4.0. Industry 4.0, I have some good papers which are by elsewhere, like this. And I have one case study also on Siemens. So this also I'll upload, this. Like this is intelligent manufacturing in the context of industry 4.0, a case study of Siemens. So this is also a very beautiful paper. So elsewhere, Springer, Taylor and Francis, these are the reputed, journal in which you can publish your research paper. So publishing your paper in this journal, that is elsewhere, these are free journals. Elsewhere, Springer and Taylor and Francis is supposed to be, means your research or your paper is of very high quality. To get published in this journal, it takes minimum 1 year, and maximum it can take 2 years or 3 years also, because you have to satisfy their queries. So this is intelligent man in the context of industry 4.0. 4.0 means it is more or less, it is directed towards the digitization. Digitization. And here a case study in Siemens has been discussed. So whenever you get time, you please refer. So you will also come to know how to write a research paper, how to publish research paper, because at ME level, this publishing the papers is must. One paper has to be published if you want to do ME, minimum one. And if you want to do PhD, then minimum 3 papers has to be published in reputed free journal, not in paid journal. Paid journal means you pay 4,000 to 20,000 depending upon the publisher, and whatever quality of work is there, it will be published. So paid journal is not accepted. Free journals, publishing the paper in the free journal, that is only acceptable. So Industry 4.0 is nothing but more, or it is mainly it focuses on your uh, digital technology, like now IIoT, that is Industrial Internet of Things. Now, sitting at your desk, sitting at your home, or you are sleeping on a bed, you can control your operations. You can control your machines, you can control your plant, which is at far away, maybe in USA, maybe in Switzerland, your factories. So just you are sleeping on your bed, like you are attending the lectures. I know many students, उनका मोबाइल रहता है स्टमक के ऊपर, एंड बेटा सो रहा है आराम से, और he is listening. I don't know whether he is attending the lecture or whether he is sleeping, but this is what is technology is. So in the similar way, you can operate your plant round the clock. Artificial intelligence and machine, these are the various tools which are used in Industry 4.0, that is AI and machine learning, big data analytics, digital twin. See, this is a computer driven society. Even though you are mechanical engineer, you cannot escape out of this computers. You have to have knowledge of computers, you have to have knowledge of at least one programming language, either C++ or Java. And now Python is picking up. So you can't say I am not a computer student or I am not an IT student. You cannot escape. Even a 60-year or 70-year old person also nowadays, he must know how to operate the mobile, because everything is banking etc on the mobile. We hardly go to the bank now. Digital twin, cloud computing. So these are the technologies, these are the tools which are available now. Typical application of key technology like this IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things. The full form is, what are the industries? IIoT enable manufacturing measurement. Then what is the aim of this? Combining domains and easing the interpretation of the sensor data. This is into the measurement. Like now, we have vehicle assembly lines in India itself, in Mumbai itself. That is what is called as the SCADA base or PLC base or RFID base, that is radio frequency intermediate data. So there you have sensors. Every workstation, it has sensors, it has RFID, and there are chips which are fitted below the chassis, and it has everything. It has the history of that pura assembly line. So at every workstation, who is assembling, how much time he is taking, how much time he is doing time pass, everything will be come to know. And in that chip, for that particular product, let's say car, so what are the components, when it was assembled, who has supplied, everything, every data is stored, so that in future, if there is any breakdown, so it is easy to identify and trace the reason, whether it is faulty material or whether it is faulty workmanship or whether the assembly was not done properly. So this kind of things can be identified, and it can be monitored easily. So in for identification and traceability, these sensors, RFID, this data is very much essential, very much, very very essential. Because sometimes what happens in Indian environment, this type of uh, tools are required, because अपना कैसा रहता है
चलता है एटीट्यूड रहता है अपना इंडियन. आई एम नॉट, आई मीन डोंट मिसअंडरस्टैंड मी, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट, आई एम ऑल्सो इंडियन. ओके. सो चलता है एटीट्यूड मतलब क्या, लाइक सपोज चलो आई हैव सीन विथ माय ओन आईज ऑल्सो, आई एम नॉट bluffing. I have seen with my own eyes, like I will not take the name, but it was an assembly line, and the uh, product was to be assembled, right? And six bolts were to be assembled, and somehow one bolt fell down. Okay, and he was very much reluctant to find out the bolt. So what that particular operator or the person told, अरे जाने दो करके, एक बोल्ट से कुछ नहीं होता है करके, छः की जगह 5 बोल्ट्स है, लेट इट गो. बिकॉज प्रोडक्शन पीपल्स का ये मेंटालिटी क्या रहता है, टारगेट्स. मेरे को 300 पीस बनाना है मतलब 300 पीस. ही इज लीस्ट बॉदर्ड अबाउट द क्वालिटी. अंडरस्टैंड ना, ही लीस्ट बॉदर्ड अबाउट द क्वालिटी. टारगेट 300 पीस. मेरे को थोड़ा सोने को टाइम मिलना मांगता है, मेरे को आई शुड गेट अ टाइम टू रिलैक्स. दैट इज व्हाट देयर माइंडसेट इज, प्रोडक्शन पीपल. So there is always a tussle or a fight between production and quality control. Understand? Or quality assurance. There is always a fight. QA people, they are always conscious about the quality. Production people, they are always cautious about their target. Numbers. They are interested in number. मैंने 300 पीस बनाया, 300 पीस में से कितना करेक्ट है, आई एम नॉट बॉदर्ड. And that's why nowadays, process capability, and nowadays even the quality is also a responsibility of the production. That is, you produce something which cannot be, or which cannot be rejected by anyone. What is the purpose of making 300 pieces and out of which 50% are rejected? It's of no use. So the quality and production goes hand in hand, and it is not the inspection, or it is not the inspector who is improving the quality. It is the process, it is the human beings, it is the workers, it is the engineers who improves the quality. It is not the inspector. Inspection is what? It's acceptance and rejection, isn't it? He will say 300 में से 200 पीस बराबर है, 100 पीस बराबर नहीं है. So 100 pieces are to be scrapped. That is what he will. So it is kind of a segregation. Inspection is nothing but it is not going to help you to improve the quality. Understand? So you have to focus on your process capabilities. 3 sigma, 6 sigma, 8 sigma. This is what your planned capabilities. Another is artificial intelligence and machine learning, big data, digital twin. So where it is used, AI and machine learning, it is used in transportation. These are the some industries where it is applicable. Then formulating, and so these are the aims, these are the objectives. Then how the improvements can be done, and these are the references. That is, if you want some additional, so these references are given at the end of the paper and down. So this case study is done in Siemens. So how, what kind of tools were used and how these tools were useful for improving the productivity. So if you see here, see, you have sensors, you have robots, you have, different tools, you have computers, etc. Fine. So industry 4.0, it basically concentrates, or it focuses on your digital technology. That's all. You should have, why this has been included, that you should have a multidisciplinary approach. You cannot say that I am a mechanical engineer, so I will not touch computers. Later on, when you join industry, even if you want to do post graduation, MS in other, in USA, there in MS, the 50% subjects, even though you are done mechanical engineering, 50% subjects in MS you have to take computer related, IT related, compulsorily 50% subjects. So what I'm trying to tell you, that this is what the trend is. It's a computer driven society, and you cannot escape out of this. I have another beautiful paper on this industry 4.0, that is intelligent manufacturing. This is from the elsewhere. Elsewhere is the highest, is most number one, reputed journal elsewhere, and publishing in this paper is as good as, getting PhD. Like suppose if your paper is published in elsewhere, nobody can stop you from awarding the PhD. Means if your paper is publishing in this itself is take around 2 years or 3 years on an average, and if your paper is of really good quality, that is, if it is innovative, if it is really a innovative research, then it may get published in 1 or 1.5 year, but the minimum time is 1.5 year you can take, even though it is high quality research. So if your paper is published in this, it is as good as achieving PhD. That means your PhD is done, I say, elsewhere. Mein. So this is, please go through this, and if you don't understand anything, you can always contact me. So what is here? It is explained. What is intelligent manufacturing? Intelligent manufacturing is also called as the smart manufacturing. You have to be smart now. IoT enable. So all these automated lines, they give you all the data, like how much time the workstation was closed. Even nowadays it is this SCARA based system. They can detect, like suppose if the machine downtime is half an hour in a day, so why that machine was down, what was the reason, so that also it will tell you whether it was because of there was no person, the person was absent, or whether there was shortage of material, the material was not there, or whether the material was defective, like person is not there, so what to do, the resource or the workstation will remain idle. If there is no material, that is shortage of material, the workstation is going to remain idle. If the material itself is defective, so it cannot be assembled, isn't it? So inventory shortages, absenteeism, defective material, or there is some breakdown in the machine. So these are the various reasons which also can be identified. The system, this IoT enabled manufacture, the sensors, RFID, or this SCADA, it will give you the breakup also, why it was down, and then that helps management to take the decision. Oh, the breakdowns are many, so that means it's the time to overhaul the machine, overhaul the equipment, or it's the time to purchase a new machine itself. Okay, then absenteeism. Okay, so peoples are less, so that means we have to request HR to employ more peoples, like that decisions can be taken. So here a beautiful table is given, concept comparison of the key concept, like intelligent manufacturing. What are the characteristics? What are the supporting technology for intelligent? That is, we talk about intelligent manufacturing. So how do you get intelligent manufacturing? So intelligent manufacturing, it has big data processing, advanced robotics. It's very wide, That's why I mean this particular, syllabus is so vast. That it's very very big, it becomes difficult to complete in a shorter duration. You have big data processing, advanced robotics. See, big data science itself is another branch now, another branch, 4 years. Advanced robotics, industrial connectivity. So these are what the supporting technologies are. Cloud manufacturing, so what do you have in cloud manufacturing, what are its applications, cloud manufacturing car. So this table gives you fair idea, about this. What are the applications of IoT, so there will be some 3 4 questions only based on this, so you can frame the answers by referring to these papers. What is cloud computing? What is the applications of cloud computing? CB, that is cyber physical. CPS matlab cyber physical system. Cyber security is again an emerging field. Even B mechanical post graduation they are doing in cyber security. No doubt they have to learn some languages. For them it is slightly uh, laborious, but then uh, it's a good career, cyber security.
What are the different applications of ICT? Then how it is this how it is being employed or used in different countries like say United States, Japan, China. What are the future scope? So the data is most important. Data, how robust your data is and how correct your data is. How correct your data is, that is most important, because results analysis, that is what you are going to get based on your accuracy of the data. If your data is fake or manipulative, then obviously the result that you are going to get is poor. You know, this is one more paper, almost similar. Exactly as per you, this exactly fulfills your requirement of module 6, that is intelligent manufacturing in the context of industry 4.0, review paper published in Elsewhere. So nobody can challenge if it is published in Elsewhere journal. So I will upload these two papers. So this paper and earlier paper, it is almost same, some changes. So I'll just upload only one paper only. Okay, now coming back to composites. Okay, so that was about your intelligent manufacturing and industry 4.0. Now, what are the composites? So, composites is nothing but you are combining two or more materials. Composites. In order to, it is like hybrid, and hybrid term you are familiar. हम लोग farming में भी hybrid animals, hybrid animals. That is, you are taking best of two different species, and you try to get a improved species, isn't it? Improved characteristics. So in order to get a unique combinations of the properties, you go for composites or you go for hybridization, and it is applicable for metals, alloys, for polymers, that is plastics, wood, anything. It can be natural or it can be synthetic also, like your wood. So wood is a natural composite of fiber and lignin. Synthetic means artificial. Right? So if you talk about wood, which is a natural composite of cellulose fiber and lignin, then cellulose, it has its own property, like it gives you strength, and lignin, it has binding properties, like gluing properties, so that will bind your cellulose fiber rigidly. Gut हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, rigid, gut. So the final properties of a composite will be always better than the individual one. So the composites are divided into basic 5 types, that is fiber, particles, flake, laminar, and filled. Out of which the particles are most common particles, and there are technologies for each and every composites to manufacture each and every composite, right? So this is your, see, if you look at this diagram, you can see, I'll enlarge it. Like this is particle shape. This is your laminar. Laminar means it is like a sheet form. अपना notebook का paper. Flex will not have a fixed shape, like rectangular, circular. It will be in the sheet form, but it will not have a fixed shape like circular or rectangular. Then another is fiber. Fiber means the dhaga, and then filler. So this particular product is made out of fiber composite. This is
particle. This is laminas, stacking of the laminas, stacking of the small, thin sheets. This is a flake composite, and this is a filled composite. So, composite materials, how they are classified: MMC, CMC, and PMC. Right. So, what are the basic steps for composite manufacturing process? So, there are four basic steps. One first step is wetting, that is bhigana, hmm, layup, consolidation, and solidification. Right. So all composite manufacturing processes say so. It has these four basic steps. Right. So first is waiting or waiting, not waiting for the girlfriend or for the boyfriend. Waiting means WETTING. So it is also called as the impregnation. So here, what we do in this step, we fibers and resins they are mixed together to form a lamina. Hmm. Here resin flows. Resin matlab it's a kind of a glue. It flows around all the fibers. Then viscosity, surface tension, capillary action. These are the main parameters which affects the impregnation process. Then polymers, as you know, it is divided into two types, that is thermosets and thermoplastics. So thermosets matlab you have to cool after injecting, you have to cool the product in order to solidify. And thermoplastics may the there is no cooling. Uh, in order to get the solidification, the product or the material has to remain in heated condition itself. So thermosets they have viscosities in the range of this centipoise, so that it can be easier to wet out. Whereas thermoplastic in the range of 10 to 4 to 10 to 8 centipoise, so they require a greater amount of pressure for good impregnation. Then second step is layup. Layup matlab laying down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, two fold, three fold, four fold. That is what is your layup means. Hmm. The third is consolidation. Consolidation is nothing but you have to provide contact. That is a kind of a binding. So you have to bind it and make it small. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना send me a consolidated report. Okay, छोटा सा report. So here you have to compact this laminas. And then curing or solidification. So that is very fast for thermoplast, and for thermoset it takes longer time. So you have to maintain a proper temperature or vacuum or pressure. Vacuum or pressure, these are two opposite. So in case of thermoset composites, so rate of solidification will depend upon the resins. So here, as I said, that the material has to be remain in heated condition itself in order to solidify. Whereas in thermoplastic, you have to cool it down, in order to solidify. Majority of the plastics comes into the category of thermoplast. Whereas thermoset, matlab these bakelite, mainly which are used in switch gears. Mainly which are used in switch gears. Thermoset is popularly used. So what are the advantages of thermoset composites? As I said, thermosets are nothing but this epoxy, polyester, ester. These are the common thermosets which are used for switch gear. As I said, these are cured or solidified at elevated temperature. The material has to be remain in heated condition. And what are the advantages? That processing of the thermoset composite is much easier because it is in liquid stage. Heat, since it is in heated condition, the pressure requirements are less. Tooling cost is comparatively less. Only the curing time is higher. So the cycle time, that is the product manufacturing time, is little more in case of thermoset composite processing. These are some disadvantages. Since it is subjected to the high temperatures, the material which you are used for tooling should withstand that temperature. So the material cost is more. Okay. So these are, here it is mentioned. You can go through this advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so that was your thermoset and thermoplast. What you have to remember, thermoplast में आपको cool करना है, thermoset में आपको गर्म ही रखना है. Okay, then you have preparing the layer process. That is how to, you know, make layers after layers. So this is also called as autoclave processing or vacuum bagging process. So by layer by layer, this is developed. So its applications, you can see these photographs like wing structures, then sporting goods. So these are the, products where this layer process can be used or is popular. Now this is for your airlifter. We call it this is a door which is used for airlifter. So like this, there are at least 8 main gear doors and 4 nose gear doors, and plus you have some doors at the rear end also. So these are prepared by layer process. So again, nobody is going to ask you the detailed procedure about this, layer process. You have to remember the names of the processes, at the most advantages or disadvantages of any one process. Mostly some common process only, like thermoset or thermoplast. Again, you have, some steps in layer process. That is, initially it has to be refrigerated, then it has to be kept at room temperature, then cutting, cleaning of the mold, then you have to put some supports, that is called as the backing. Then you have to remove the entrapped air from this. So these are some steps here in lab. Of course, every process, it has some advantages and it has some disadvantages as well as limitation. So basically, layer process is manual and it is time consuming. It is laborious. See, like here now it is hand layer. So manually you have to, lay manually. You have to go on depositing the different layers as shown in the figure, like this resin. So this is being done manually. And then हम लोग जैसा पेंटिंग करते हैं दीवार को, रोलर ब्रश घुमाते हैं, so like that you have to use a roller. So minimum 2 persons are required. That is, one for properly, injecting the resin. Resin is nothing but that chemical, and then another person for using the roller so that it is made even, smooth. So this is hand layer. So it is manual. It is time consuming. Of course, now low cost automation has improved or reduced the setup time. Only advantage of this is, since it is manual, uh, it is low cost. There are no equipments, there is no automation involved, so the cost is less. You have another technique that is called as the spray up. That is, here you are spraying the material. So this is again also a manual. So again it is laborious, but advantage is it is low cost in spraying. So everything has been properly written down. And of course after spraying up it has to be baked. It has to be baked in a oven. मतलब आपको भट्टी में उसको गर्म करना है, so that it acquires the sufficient strength. You have again advantages, limitations of the spray up process. Then this is another process that is called as the filament winding. So this is used to produce products such as pressure tanks. This filament winding you can remember or you can learn, because this is important from your examination point of view. So here these are used for producing the pressure tanks, or the motor castings. Like this is a tape which is wound over a mandrail, and then it is cured like this. So these are the fibers, resin impregnated fibers, which are wound over a mandrel, and you get a hollow product. This is how, see, it is wound. So it is used for tubular, hollow structures, pipes, pressure vessels, brick pressure vessels, storage tanks, which is, this technique is now very common and popular. Because the applications are very wide, and at the same time it can be used for huge tubes like this. What is shown in this diagram, देखो कितना लंबा tubes बनाया है. This is done purely by filament winding process. These are some other applications of filament winding. Okay, then I think it's I exceeded the time, so I'm sorry for that. So we'll continue with this pultrusion in the next session. So thank you so much. Sorry for exceeding the time limit.